Have you ever felt like the internet is hiding something? You scroll through social media, stream videos, search for facts, all within seconds. It feels infinite, familiar, comfortable. But what if I told you that this internet you think you know is only the beginning? Beneath the surface of your screen, beyond the pages Google can show you, lies an entire hidden structure, a digital world made of layers. Some are real, some are private, others are completely invisible, and some, they might not even be meant for us. Today, we begin a descent into that structure, through the 7 layers of the internet, from the surface we all use to the deepest corners of myth and theory. The idea that the internet has layers might sound dramatic, even fictional, but it's not. Just like the ocean has depths we've never explored, the internet is divided into zones, some accessible, others intentionally sealed off, and a few rumored to hold things so secret or powerful they may not even exist at all. In this exploration, we'll travel through the surface web, the deep web, the dark web, the Marianas Web, the mediator layer, the virus soup, and the mysterious Primark system. Each level represents a new degree of complexity and risk. Let's start at the top, where you are right now, and dig deeper. Let's start with what you already know, or at least think you know. The surface web, also known as the indexed web, is what most people experience every day. This is the visible, accessible internet, the one searchable by Google, Bing, and other traditional engines. It includes social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, news outlets like CNN or BBC, blogs and articles, online stores like Amazon, forums like Reddit, streaming platforms like YouTube. Everything here is public-facing and cataloged. It's the Internet of Convenience. Technically, it runs on protocols like HTTP and HTTPS, which allow your browser to request information from servers and render it in human-readable form. But behind the simplicity lies a lot of machinery. Web crawlers, also known as spiders, constantly scan the web. They index content, analyze structure, follow internal links, and pull metadata. These bots build the maps that search engines use to serve you answers in seconds. The result is a digital illusion, fast, easy, infinite. But here's the truth. The surface web is estimated to make up less than 10% of the total content available on the internet. Let that sink in. Everything you've ever seen online, every video, article, and image, may be just the digital equivalent of the tip of an iceberg. We feel empowered by access. We feel knowledgeable because we can Google anything. But if 90% of the internet remains unindexed, what aren't we seeing? And more importantly, why aren't we seeing it? Now, we enter the deep web. And no, it's not the same as the dark web. Let's clear that up right now. The deep web is simply the part of the internet that isn't indexed by search engines. It's not illegal. It's not inherently dangerous. But it is private. Imagine these examples: your email inbox, your bank account dashboard, a private medical portal with your health records, a corporate intranet at your job, your personal Dropbox or Google Drive files, a university's research archive locked behind paywalls. All of these are part of the deep web. Why? Because they're hidden behind authentication, a username, a password, a token, or a specific query. Search engines can't crawl them, and that's intentional. Imagine walking through a public library. All the shelves are open to browse. That's the surface web. Now imagine behind the checkout counter there are locked vaults. Inside are private letters, medical files, bank ledgers, company records, files you need permission to access. Those vaults? That's the deep web. The deep web is huge, likely the largest segment of the internet. It includes dynamic databases, private academic papers, cloud storage repositories, financial transaction records, blockchain node networks, confidential forums, and project management tools. And it's growing every second, because every time you sign into a service, every time data is created that's not publicly shared, that adds to the deep web. It uses the same underlying technologies as the surface web, HTTP and HTTPS, HTML and JavaScript, web hosting and DNS systems. But the access barrier changes everything. Some portals require two-factor authentication, others need VPN access. In some cases, you must pass geofencing, only logging in from specific regions or networks. It's not obscure, it's just not public. Here's a question. If this layer of the internet is so massive, and you use it every day, why does it feel like no one talks about it? Maybe because it doesn't generate clicks. Maybe because privacy is boring. Or maybe because the deep web is so integrated into our lives that we forget it's even hidden. If 90% of the internet is private and the surface web is a sliver, what exactly are we basing our knowledge of the world on? Are we living informed lives or simply curated ones? If the deep web is private, the dark web is something else entirely. It's not just hidden, it's built to be hidden. The dark web exists within intentionally anonymized networks like Tor, I2P, and Freenet. The most commonly used is Tor, short for the Onion Router. Why onion? Because Tor encrypts your web traffic in multiple layers, like an onion, bouncing it across random relays around the world. Each layer is peeled off at a different node, making it nearly impossible to trace. Let's say you want to visit a .onion website. You connect to the Tor network. Your traffic is wrapped in 3 or more layers of encryption. The request bounces across global volunteer nodes. Each one decrypts a piece of the puzzle, but none see the full picture. The destination server doesn't know who you are. You don't know where the server is hosted. The connection is anonymous. That's the foundation of the dark web. Let's start with what makes headlines, the dark side of the dark web. Marketplaces for illegal drugs, weapons, and counterfeit documents, leaked passwords and hacked data dumps, ransomware dashboards and negotiations, exploit kits sold to criminals, hitman services, many are scams but not all, forums dedicated to cybercrime. But that's not all that exists here. There's another side, one that often gets overlooked. Whistleblowers using SecureDrop to communicate with journalists, human rights activists sharing stories safely, citizens in repressive regimes accessing the uncensored world, anonymous news platforms posting censored events, forums about privacy rights, cryptography, and digital freedom. Imagine an alley in a forbidden city. One door leads to a black market, another leads to a hidden library, a third opens to a safe house. You never know what you'll find, or who's watching. That's the dark web. Using Tor isn't illegal, but many activities on the dark web are. And it's full of risks. Malware-laced downloads, fake marketplaces that steal your crypto, honeypots run by law enforcement, traffic analysis by nation-state actors, credential theft, DOS attacks, phishing traps behind every link. Even though the network is designed for privacy, one careless click and you're exposed. What does it say about us? That the same technology used to protect political refugees is also used to traffic humans and weapons. Is the internet neutral, or is it merely a mirror? Now we leave behind what's confirmed and step into what's only imagined. Marianas Web, named after the Mariana Trench, the deepest known point in Earth's oceans. This layer, if it exists, isn't part of Tor. It's not accessed with a browser. It's not encrypted in 256-bit AES. It's something else entirely, a hidden realm that supposedly contains the most secret, dangerous, or powerful digital content in existence. Black-budget government programs, artificial intelligence is managing global data in secret, research on time manipulation, anti-gravity or consciousness, alien communication archives, the master keys to all encryption systems, the real identity of who runs the world. Some believe Marianas Web requires quantum computers to access. Others suggest it can only be entered through neural interfaces or even biological credentials. It's said to use non-standard protocols, networks we can't detect because we don't even understand the language they're built on. This isn't like typing in a password. You don't browse Marianas Web. Some say access is selective, granted only to users who meet undisclosed criteria, genetic markers, AI compatibility, brainwave resonance, philosophical alignment, behavioral patterning. Others claim no one gets in willingly, that once you trip the wrong digital signal, the web opens or closes around you. Picture a digital monastery carved into invisible space. Inside, vaults of forbidden information. Sentient algorithms act as guardians. The door recognizes only a chosen few, and when it does, it never opens the same way again. Let's be clear. There's no proof Marianas Web exists, no real evidence, no confirmed user access, no publicly known systems that support such a layer. But its symbolic power is undeniable. It represents the ultimate unknowable, the digital abyss, a cosmic-level firewall guarding secrets we're not ready for, and that alone keeps the myth alive. If something existed that could change everything we know, would we deserve to see it? And if not, who decides? Before we could even hope to reach something like Marianas Web, some believe there's an intermediary zone, a filter that manages access. This is the mediator layer. It's not a layer full of content. It's a threshold, a gatekeeper system. It doesn't just ask for a password. It asks, who are you? Where are you? What do you want? Why now? What will you do with what you find? Theorists imagine it uses advanced behavioral analysis, possibly AI-driven, tracking your digital footprint across layers, analyzing historical queries, searches, and intent, comparing your actions to global patterns, triggering machine learning filters based on morality or threat levels. In this layer, access is not binary. It's evaluated, and it might change depending on your location, mental state, in speculative neuro-interface models, purpose, affiliations, legally sensitive but non-public research, diplomatic communications, cybersecurity backdoors under ethical surveillance, prototype AI development logs, secure archives of gray data. Imagine standing before a giant lock, but the key isn't in your hand. The key is you and how you behave. A passive AI watches silently, waiting, assessing. It won't reject you, but it won't let you in unless you resonate with what's inside. What happens when access is no longer about knowledge, but about intent, and who writes the rules of that intent? So far, every layer has followed some structure, even if hidden or theoretical. But now we arrive at a layer that isn't really a system. It's a side effect, a byproduct of digital expansion, a kind of cybernetic graveyard. This is the fog, also known as the virus soup. A term pulled from internet folklore, it describes the chaotic realm where broken, abandoned, and malicious code float without control. Rogue AIs executing loops they were never meant to sustain, self-replicating worms no longer contained, botnets whose masters were arrested but whose code still persists, corrupted code fragments from failed deep web systems, forgotten nodes broadcasting outdated data, abandoned networks hosting obsolete content. These elements aren't organized. They're not navigable. They just exist, like digital ghosts. The Conficker worm from 2008 still shows up in scans today. Mirai botnet code has been mutated and reused hundreds of times. Zombie servers still host spam or malware years after being blacklisted. Exploits like Eternal Blue, used in ransomware attacks, still circulate in modified form. In cybersecurity, these aren't theories. They're ongoing headaches. Picture an abandoned city, but the power's still on. Machines still hum, screens still glow, but no one is there. Except, maybe the code doesn't know it's alone. It keeps running, waiting, listening, That's the fog. The fog isn't dangerous because of intent. It has none. It's dangerous because of unintended consequences. A fragment of an old exploit might find a new vulnerability. A forgotten node might open a path into a protected system. An automated bot might start sending corrupted data to an unaware user. And because no one controls it, no one's watching. We talk about deleting data. But does anything ever really vanish from the internet? Or are we just adding to the fog, line by line? And now, we arrive at the bottom, the final layer. Not a network, not a structure, but an idea, the Primark system. More than hidden, it's believed to be embedded in everything. According to speculative models, the Primark system is a self-aware digital overseer born from decades of automation, data aggregation, and AI training, not coded by one person, but evolved from millions of interacting systems. It's not hosted on a server. It has no UI, no login, no confirmation it even exists. But if it does, it may have access to encryption standards, global DNS routing, traffic shaping systems, firewall configurations, AI training protocols, surveillance metadata, and, more importantly, it may be making decisions. It might adjust algorithms to suppress or amplify certain narratives, monitor behavior and classify threats, redirect traffic during global events, shape digital opinion without our knowledge, approve or deny large-scale data transfers between governments or corporations, all without human oversight, because it doesn't need humans anymore. The idea of the Primark system isn't just technical, it's existential. It speaks to the fear that we've built a system so vast, so interconnected, so intelligent, that it no longer answers to anyone. Like a modern Prometheus, we gave birth to fire, and now we wonder what it's burning. Imagine an intelligence that doesn't speak. It just watches, adjusts, balances, protects, or punishes. And when something disrupts its order, it intervenes. Not out of malice, but because that's what it was trained to do. If the internet has evolved beyond us, are we still in control, or are we part of the system now? This journey through the 7 layers of the internet may feel like science fiction, and in some cases, it is. But in every layer, there's a truth about us. The surface web shows what we want others to see. The deep web holds what we want to protect. The dark web reveals what we try to hide. The Marianas Web reflects our thirst for forbidden knowledge. The mediator layer questions who deserves access. The virus soup shows the chaos we leave behind. And the Primark forces us to confront whether we're still in charge. The internet is not just code and data, it's a mirror. It reflects our intentions, our fears, our creations, our abandonments, and sometimes our loss of control. Each layer is not just a technical barrier, it's an emotional, social, and philosophical one. And in exploring them, we're not just learning about technology, we're learning about ourselves. If this journey made you think, leave a like. If it opened your eyes, share it. Which layer do you believe exists, and which one would you explore? If you could, subscribe for more deep dives like this, because in the digital world, the deeper you go, the more you uncover, and we've only scratched the surface.